それでは改めまして皆様こんにちは。今日はようこそいらっしゃいました。ただいまより中央大学主催グローバル人材育成推進事業シンポジウム、グローバル人材が求められる局面、事態を乗り切るスキルと人間力を開始いたします。司会の方は私、中央大学副学長の若林が務めさせていただきます。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。では、まず開会のご挨拶を差し上げます。中央大学総長学長、福原紀彦でございます。
ご来場の皆さん、こんにちは。また、配信されております、映像、音声で視聴をいただいておる皆さん、ようこそ。本日は中央大学が主催をいたしますグローバル人材が求められる局面、題し副題に事態を乗り切るスキルと人間力と、こうしたテーマでこの後有意義なシンポジウムを開催させていただくことになりました。いつもより開花の時期の早い桜が満開でございまして、ぜひこのシンポジウムも本日の満開の桜の勢いで多くの成果が上げていただければと心から期待をしております。ご承知の通り、中央大学は平成24年度の文科省が公募いたしましたグローバル人材育成推進事業に応募いたしまして、その A タイプ全額推進型に採択をされました。本年度から5年間、中央大学がこの計画をいたしましたグローバル人材育成推進事業、これを取り組んでまいりたいというふうに考えておるところでございますが、すでにグローバル30と言っておりましたけども、実はグローバル13だった13大学が先行した取り組みを行っておられます。また同じ時期にいくつもの大学がグローバル人材育成推進事業を全額型また特色型で展開をされておられます。それらはそれぞれの大学の見学の精神に基づき、それぞれの大学が研究、教育、社会連携の下で個性を発揮されている、それに基づいて行われているものでありますから、それぞれにオリジナリティというものが見て取れます。大事なことは、そういった各大学の取り組みが相互に補い合い、また高め合って、我が国全体の大学にとってのグローバル人材の育成という大きな目標のために、どういった取り組みができるのであるかということだと思います。本日のシンポジウムは、中央大学が推進いたしますプログラムをご紹介をさせていただくことはもちろんでございますけれども、本日は国際キリスト教大学、東京工業大学、筑波大学、各大学からのご来がも賜りまして、今申し上げましたような趣旨でグローバル人材育成推進事業の各大学の取り組みのそういった強調がなされることを期待しているところでございます。本学のグローバル人材育成推進事業の特徴というのは、実地応用の層を養うという見学の精神のもとに、実学教育、また専門家養成ということで多くの実績を持っている本学において、グローバルゼネラリストの養成はもちろん、グローバルリーダー、グローバルスペシャリストの養成に取り組むという本学の実学教育の伝統をグローバル化、これに結びつけていこうというところにあると言っても過言ではございません。そういう中で、果たして現実の場面でどういったグローバルな人材、これが求められているのか、それを今日は各企業、国際的に展開されている企業事業の現場の声に耳を傾けて、私たちが今取り組んでいるグローバル人材育成推進事業というもののこれからの在り方も考えてみようというものでございます。 そのように各大学、また実務との連携、協力によって、このグローバル人材育成推進事業が今後、実り大きいものになりますよう願ってやまないのでございます。本日は大変多くの皆様方が熱心においでいただきましたことを、まずは心から歓迎し、御礼を申し上げ、本日これからのシンポジウムが有意義になりますよう、先ほど申し上げました趣旨にて有意義になりますよう、期待をいたしまして、開催冒頭のご挨拶とさせていただきます。本日はありがとうございます。どうぞ一日よろしくお願いいたします。
それでは早速基調講演の方に入ります。基調講演はヘイズスペシャリストリクルートメントジャパン株式会社の田上セーラ様からいただきます。タイトルはグローバルパースペクティブ Strategy for Attracting and Retaining the Top Global Talent ということでございます。パンフレットに記載いたしましたプロフィールに若干間違いがございましたので、訂正をさせていただきながらご紹介申し上げたいと思います。田上セーラ様は高校生の時にロータリー少年交換留学生として1年間静岡県に在住になられまして、その後ニュージーランドのインターナショナルパシフィック大学インターナショナルスタディ学科を卒業され、オーストラリアのシドニー工科大学知的財産学科に進学なさいました。ニュージーランドの知的財産管理局にてトレードマーク審査員、オーストラリア・シドニーの法律学校で商標弁護士として実務をご経験なされ、その後、ヘイズスペシャルリクルートメントジャパン株式会社に入社されました。現在、人事部門マネージャー、日系、外資系の多岐にわたる人事関連の人材、求人紹介業も担当なさっております。では、田上様、よろしくお願いいたします。
皆様、こんにちは。本日はお忙しい中、多数お集まりいただき、誠にありがとうございます。それから、中央大学の皆様、今回のような基調演説の機会をいただき、とても光栄と思います。私はヘイズジャパン人事部門を担当しております、セーラー田上と申します。これから英語でプレゼンテーションの内容を話していきますが、どうぞ最後までよろしくお願いいたします。From here, I will present in English. Thank you. My name is Sarah Tanoue, and I am managing the Human Resources Recruitment Specialism at Hayes, Japan. We recruit bilingual HR specialists for mainly Gaishike, but more recently, increasingly more Japanese international organizations. Today, we will provide a global perspective on strategy for attracting and retaining the top global talent. What we will cover is what is the recruitment business, who is Hayes, and what do we do, how do we define global talent, and what are the characteristics of global talent, or today we will say global jinzai. Why do we need global jinzai? How do we best attract them? How do we best retain and develop them? And I will also give a couple of real-life case studies from our experience at Hayes of how Japanese organizations are utilizing global jinzai to gain global competitiveness. So the recruiting agency plays the role of bridging between the organization or the hiring manager and the candidate. The agency provides consultancy services for both candidates and clients. For the candidate side, the recruiting consultant listens and understands the unique qualification of the candidate and introduces the jobs that match their skills, their experience, and their career goals. On the client side, the consultant also provides consultancy by understanding their job requirements and matching and introducing candidates who can fulfill that job. We are involved throughout the process to achieve an outcome that benefits both sides. Using a recruiting agency provides many benefits to both candidates and clients. The candidate receives a free service from a professional consultant who can give them access to multiple job opportunities. The client can minimize costs, both their time and their resources, while gaining access to a pool of candidates that they cannot search for themselves. As you can see there, the benefits. So just to explain about Hays Group, Hays is the leading global specialist recruiting group. We are expert at recruiting qualified, professional, and skilled people worldwide. We established our business in 1867 in London, United Kingdom. Now, Hays operates globally in 33 countries, employing 7,800 staff across 245 offices worldwide. This year, our team of recruiting experts worldwide placed 55,000 people in permanent roles and 182,000 people in temporary and contract assignments. Hays Japan was established in 2001. We now have 130 staff in total in 3 local offices in Japan. The Kanto region is serviced from Akasaka and Shinjuku, and Kansai from our central Osaka office. Japan represents Hays' largest source of revenue in Asia, and it's the 7th largest worldwide. Every year we make over 1,000 permanent placements here in Japan. We have over 65,000 candidates, and most of them are bilingual global Jinsai in our database. Hays is the only foreign recruitment company in Japan to operate specialist business units composed of professionals with experience and expertise in the sectors they cover. Hays Japan's 13 specialisms, as listed, cover accountancy and finance, banking, finance technology, human resources, Hays resource management, information technology, insurance, legal, life sciences, office professionals, property, sales and marketing, and supply chain. So moving to our main topic today, global Jinsai, it's best to start with a definition of this term. We conducted a survey asking 250 HR managers in Japan what global Jinsai means to them and the characteristics they consider of global Jinsai. The top 3 responses were those who have a high level of communication skill, business level English, both spoken and written, and the ability to lead a team or facilitate a group. It's very interesting that the top 2 both involve communication skills, and that's not just language. To be able to express and communicate clearly your own opinion and to have the negotiation skills is key for global Jinsai. Also, HR managers value people who have the ability to lead the team with flexibility and adaptability. You could say people who are able to work with others with different background, different opinions and perspectives. Some of the other responses included experience working abroad or studying abroad, having an industry or function-specific knowledge or expertise, and also people who are flexible and adaptable. So why are these global Jinsai demanded in today's business? The themes we keep hearing are listed on the slide. In particular, local companies need to keep up with the fast-paced, well-networked, globalized economy and to communicate effectively with their vendors and their counterparts overseas. From Hays' experience, even 5 years ago, many local companies were not globalizing because they didn't need to. Then the financial crisis hit, and companies were required to expand overseas to maintain a competitive edge. While the majority of our business previously came from the Gaishikare business in Japan, we've seen much more demand for global Jinsai in recent years from Japanese organizations. It's obvious that global Jinsei is a valuable and desired resource for business. However, it can be a real challenge to find and attract these people to your organization. It's not as simple as posting a job ad on your website and then choosing from hundreds of applicants. According to our Hayes Global Skill Index, Japan has a high level of talent mismatch rate, scoring 8.1 out of 10. This is due to an aging population, a relatively closed immigration policy, limited diversity, and the increasingly global requirements of Japanese domestic companies. Many major businesses in Japan with international interests choose to post their employees to overseas locations to develop their skills, or simply hire the bilingual and bicultural resources who already have overseas experience or education. So you will have very high competition for the bilingual and global talent. The best ways to attract global Jinsei are to market your company as a global organization. Make sure that you develop an employee value proposition that includes values which are attractive to your global Jinsei. Advertise on international job sites. Prepare your job descriptions in both English and Japanese. Use referrals from the global Jinsei existing in your workforce. And of course, working with recruitment agencies is another method. From a day-to-day recruitment perspective, it's very competitive to hire the global Jinsei. It's a candidate-driven market, and these candidates will often have the luxury of choosing between 3 or more opportunities. To be successful in the race for this talent, it's important to make sure that you have a well-thought-out recruitment process, that you thoroughly explain your needs to your recruitment agent, use them as a valuable partner. Also, you should be prepared to move quickly through your interviews to an offer, because it is a race. From our experience, companies cannot secure candidates if their process is disorganized or if it contradicts the global message that you are sending out. Just one example, if your job description specifies age or gender, then the organization may not be perceived as supportive of equal opportunity, diversity, which are 2 global trends in HR right now. So once you have employed your global Jinsei, the next challenge is to retain and develop them. Here are some solutions that we recommend. Understand what motivates global Jinsei. For example, you could use employee surveys, company talkback or town hall sessions to hear what they are thinking and to develop employee engagement. Also promote a global working environment, creating matrix report lines, encouraging open communication between your overseas offices and Japan. Also create an open and diverse work environment, employing foreigners, women in higher positions, people from different age groups, disabled candidates, etc. On a more practical level, you can provide foreign language learning opportunities in the workplace, such as educational support, opportunities to visit your overseas offices, to do short-term kaigai kenshu, international conference calls, etc. And most importantly, you need to develop a clear career path and conduct ongoing and scheduled performance review and career advice sessions. It's essential that you have a clear plan for your new hires. If you are going to hire a global Jinsei, you need to ensure that they are placed in their international work environment from day one. Otherwise, they will look to leave if it is not what was expected. For example, there is no point in hiring a bilingual person just to achieve your quota of hires if English is not necessary for their job. As mentioned earlier, it is a competitive market, and these global Jinsei will be approached by your competitors who will want their expertise. Now I would like to discuss some recent examples where our clients have hired global Jinsei to meet their business needs. In the first situation, we recently worked with a large Japanese construction business. They were aggressively expanding overseas. They needed to hire a global learning and development specialist to support their organization growth. This position was required because as they expanded, they needed to standardize their competency requirements or their skill set for each job to make sure they hire the right talent on the ground overseas. And they wanted to be able to train everyone sufficiently with consistent product knowledge. The candidate they hired was ideal because she spoke English, Japanese, and Chinese, which allowed her to bridge communication among different countries. She also had HR work experience in Singapore and Japan, and she could contribute new ideas using her experience working in more established international Japanese companies with a large overseas workforce. In this situation, the required skills and competencies were fluency in English and Japanese, understanding of global standard HR and development functions, and also cross-cultural communication and negotiation skills. The second example is from a major conglomerate with operations in many countries. The company decided to make English their official language, and this had two major advantages. One, it meant that they could communicate smoothly between offices and with their overseas vendors. And more importantly, it removed the barriers for them to hire specialists from all over the world to make sure that they got the best talent in their organization. In particular, in the IT division, they were using very niche, cutting-edge technology and could not find enough specialists in the domestic Japanese market. So they decided to employ a global recruiting strategy to target specifically foreign talent or Japanese talent working abroad. Hayes assisted by using a global database, the international job sites, and SNS media to source specialist candidates from diverse countries, including India, Singapore, Canada, USA, Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines. Diverse nationalities were hired at all levels, including senior management. This meant that the management was also global, and the newly hired Jinzai could see their own career path and a future inside the organization. In this situation, the required skills and competencies were business-level Japanese and English, high-level specialist or technical knowledge, creative ability, and the ability to conduct cross-cultural communication. Those are just two examples where Hayes has assisted Japanese companies to attract global Jinzai to meet their business needs. As our brand statement says, the right person can transform business, the right job can transform a person's life. We are passionate about connecting our candidates with the right job for them. Lastly, we'd like to introduce our recently released 2013 salary guide. We've been producing our salary guide for clients in Asia for 6 years. Our 2013 salary guide reveals salary and recruiting trends for more than 1,000 roles across China, Hong Kong, Singapore, Malaysia, and Japan. It's based on a survey of over 1,200 employers and placements made by Hayes. It's a free and useful resource for your salary benchmark and evaluation. We've brought about 50 books. They are over there. Please feel free to take one as you leave. If you'd like to receive a soft copy, please contact us. Thank you for your time. If there are any questions, please feel free to ask me afterwards. 長い間ご清聴いただきありがとうございました。
はい、ありがとうございました。少し時間が早めに終わりましたので、ここでもしご質問等ございましたらお受けしたいと思います。日本語でも結構でございますので、できましたら所属とお名前をいただきましてご質問いただければというふうに思います。よろしくお願いします。
Thank you very much for your presentation. 基調講演どうもありがとうございました。先ほどのお話の中でですね、一点非常に興味深い数字をご紹介いただきました。それは日本における才能不適合率とでも訳すんでしょうか。 you mentioned about the talent mismatch rate in Japan is 8.1 of 10. 日本におけるその能力と仕事の不適合率が10点中8ポイント1であるという数字がそのヘイズの統計結果としてあると。それの意味がちょっとよく分からなかったので、もう少し補足していただければありがたいと思います。中央大学の佐藤でございます。
Sure. The Global Skills Index is something conducted by Hays globally, looking at all of the countries in which we operate and comparing the candidates in the market to the open job opportunities and how their skills and experience match the needs of the open positions. 8.1 out of 10 is quite a high level of skills mismatch. Yes, there are job seekers in Japan. As I mentioned, though, there are a large number of open jobs and a limited number of global jinsai, as well as the aging population, lower birth rate, and as we mentioned, the communication or bilingual ability. So compared with some of the other markets in which we recruit, there is a shortage of qualified candidates for skilled positions in Japan.
ちょっと加えて、例えば香港とかですね、シンガポールとかそういうところではポイントはいくつぐらいなんですか？わかりますか？6 or 7ぐらいですか？はい、わかりました。ということでございます。よろしいでしょうか？もうお一つぐらいご質問大丈夫ですけど、よろしいですか？じゃあ司会の方から一つ質問させていただきます。今日のですねお話は全体的なヘイズ様で扱っていらっしゃる事象というかそういうことのお話だったと思うんですけど、特に例えば30前ぐらいの若い世代に関する、特にこれに加えて何かこういう世代はこういう傾向があるよというようなことがあったらぜひ教えてください。もっと要するに40ぐらいとかあるいはもう少し上の世代になるところで求められるようなスキルと、あるいはもう少し若い世代でエグゼクティブ的な役割をするような人たちに求められるスキルは少し違うのかなというふうに思いますけど、もし同じだったら同じということで教えていただければいいと思いますが。
We are a contingent search firm, so we do recruit for all levels of positions, from daini shinsotsu right through to very senior people. And a lot of our candidates, clients, are looking for people under 30 years old, perhaps with 5 years of professional experience. Sometimes we will have for positions for very new graduates as well. The top 2 skills that I would love all of our candidates to have is spoken English ability, not just reading and writing. The ability to effectively participate in conference calls, in meetings with peers around the world is key. Also, overseas experience, be it study, work, even travel, is very, very valuable as well.
もう少し重ねて、スポークンイングリッシュアビリティという話ですけども、例えば大学で、テストとして使うのは TOEIC であるとか、あるいは TOEFL であるとか、IELTS などはありますけど、ちょっと少ない学生が受けるのはというような状況ですけど、もしスポークンイングリッシュアビリティが必要だということであれば、それを例えばヘイズさんの方でエバリエイトなさるときに使うのは何ですか？インタビューですか
？It's all on interview. We will speak with our candidates on the phone. We bring them to a face-to-face meeting. We explain the jobs to them. We prepare them for interviews. Everything is in English. TOEIC does not mean so much. My husband has 900 TOEIC, but he's barely conversational. So IELTS is perhaps much more effective. But it's not the score, it's not how perfect the English is, it's the meaning behind what candidates say. Accent doesn't matter. The whole world has different accents. Europeans don't speak native level English, but it's the meaning that you express.
大変ありがとうございました。どうもありがとうございました。もう一度拍手をお願いいたします。